Hi, everybody. This is Joanna from Universal Love Light Ascension Wisdoms and a Shamanic Heavenly Radiance, Shamanic Tarot, and Joanna's Breakthrough Series. So today we wanted to do a breakthrough session about transcending obstacles, what really are obstacles, and the things that we call blocks or hurdles. Again, we always like to bring forward how we allow ourselves to perceive our reality in the new perspectives that we can choose to take on. Our reality is an experience of our core vibration, and it's so important, as we've offered, and we will continue to offer because it's so very important, that daily self-care, clearing out the chakras, and allowing all that we are to come forward as divine, sovereign, powerful, empowered beings that truly create that expansive, pressing out, joyful experience of who we truly are, what we exist within, and what exists within us. And as we do so, all that we are becomes more activated in profound ways that we have no idea at this point, and no words for describing it. I was out playing tennis, so I'm really all sweaty and oh, my daughter, she likes to whip me around the court. And so I'm feeling a little bit sweaty and disheveled. So funny. But she's really good. She's gotten so good so quickly. And I'm having to trying to keep up with her. Too funny. And so what is really important, in our coming times that you can feel yourself really break through, is choosing each day that, especially if you're going through transitions. And transitions are those periods of, let's remember, everything that we experience is in a spiral. Time is in a spiral. All of our timelines are moving through a spiral of experience that is, from that top-down effect, is now being shifted up into a new spiral of vibrational potential. And this summer, especially with the Lionsgate that we've just passed through, and again, there's going to be another celestial alignment on the 18th, all of these experiences allow us to level up our experience of who we are, what we exist within, and what exists within us, and then start experiencing and exploring and expressing ourselves in new ways. So those transition points are when you are just preparing yourself for that new leveling up. The souls in all the groups that you work within are preparing for that as well, even though at the conscious level it might not be known, but at the soul level and in the higher conscious states, you are all absolutely aware of what's going on. And I've noticed that as soon as I come into these big states of transition, I'll be going through experiences with my kids on the emotional level, so that we're talking through it at the emotional level and what's coming up and what mommy's going through and how these changes are affecting their bodies and their DNAs, and why it's important for them to take ownership and honoring the various phases that they're moving through emotionally, physically, etherically, and mentally, so that they can become the masters of their own ship and release themselves from the reality that they see and tune into more of who they are, so that they can begin creating their reality from the allness that they are, taking on that divine empowerment. And again, they have each of their souls' lessons and journeys, but at least they have the information, they have that awareness that yes, there is this process, and my kids came to me the other day and said, I'm hearing so much about this awakening that you've been talking about for so long, Mommy. And I'm just like, that's great. Their generation now is hearing so much, and it's over their social platforms. And so we can tell that there's an awakening and transitions happening for all levels of all circles. So what we call hurdles and challenges and blocks are merely the perspectives that we hold, because we're allowing ourselves to vibrate within the experience at that same perspective level. And so what is so important is to maintain that centered grounding, so that you can call forward from your alignment what is in highest and best for you, so that you can gain that higher leveling up perspective. And then once you anchor in your highest perspective, that anchoring in will allow all those others as well to step up their vibration as well, if they so choose. Again, it's all, every soul has their own temperament and their own speed and desire that they want to move at. In any event, everyone will be moving through their own awakening, and everyone will be along for the ride in some fashion and form and in some perspective. But those of us that are here to push out the consciousness of the collective. We bring forward the vibrations, the templates. Being a crystal child, we're, from what I understand, the crystalline children are those of the builders. We're the builders of the crystalline templates. We're very highly empathic. We're aware at the emotional level. We read emotional energies and bodies. The emotional template, we can read it and thread our way back to where the wounds are so that we can be that empathic healer. And those of us that are the Christ consciousness, we're flowing that Christ consciousness energy through the emotional body, you know, after we've been activated through our DNA and our chakras, carrying that greater light so that we affect the all emotionally. So as we're moving through these transitions, if we're not carrying that joy and that happiness and that sacredness within us, that core vibration, then our activation in our fields will be only partially you know, light quotient and light service to those around us. So that's why it's really important that we practice that daily self-care. We're anchoring in who we are and know thyself, so that we are setting our standards. We are setting our vibrational template and setting our boundaries so that we're not taking on energies of others, which is really easy to do as an empath. You take on a lot of the emotional energies vibrationally without even knowing it. You know, unless you're practicing really tuning in with your bodies, you know, when your multidimensional bodies turn on and you're able to sense things when people come in the room, you'll start to feel your body. The physical body will start to adjust. And this is how you know that your bodies have turned on. And we're talking the physical, mental, emotional, etheric body. The etheric body is what touches it first, that vibration. So whatever energy that they are carrying at their core will be resonant in their auric field. And as soon as they walk in, because our fields are about 8 feet, you will start to feel the vibration of their field. I've even felt it, people driving in the car next to me, and you know, people in the yard. I can feel the energy in my body, you know. And you've seen me channel that when there's energies moving through, higher consciousness energies moving through, I have to adjust to carry that energy through my vessel, because there's codes being offered through me as I'm channeling and touching into the energies as they thread in with me. And so those are things to be, you know, heightened of and aware of, and knowing you're living as a conscious being, a vessel of light. You are living as this breakthrough being that is breaking into these new vibrational templates. And to do so, it's to be aware of, okay, what am I feeling? You know, why do I feel this way when this, you know, when these interactions occur in my family, or when I'm around, you know, certain collective groups, if you will. So really pay attention to what you feel. You know, that's why we've been practicing in our morning communions. How do you feel about that? Really ask yourself, well, how do I feel about that? You know, ask yourself throughout the day, how am I feeling about this? You know, what's this interaction showing me? Really feel into what you're feeling. You know, am I feeling it in my field? Does it just feel something I can't quite put my finger on? That's when you know that there's more than one of your bodies talking to you, because you can't quite put it into words. Your body will start shifting. Okay, whoa, you know. Then you say, you check in, what am I feeling? Then you call in your light, because a part of you is starting to harmonize with that, and it doesn't feel comfortable for you. So your body is showing you, okay, there's an energy here that doesn't feel like your energy. And that's okay. We're saying that so that you understand it's not a differentiation of separation, because this is why we're really allowing ourselves at this level of the leadership, if you will. We've talked about this before, is the leadership of the 5D templates and the breaking through, is that we really pay attention to the greater good and how we speak and the words we use to amplify oneness. And we amplify our love, and we amplify oneness in all that we are and all that we do. So by being aware and conscious of who you are and how we perceive, not being separate, but saying, okay, well, I'm activating more of my gifts. I'm activating my ability to sense all things around me. You know, the birds coming in the area, and you'll be able to sense, you know, cars driving by, you know, of those that really need light. Those kinds of things, they're your gifts. You know, you have them for a reason. So tune in. Well, what is this showing me? How am I feeling? Most often than not, when your bodies first turn on and the fields first turn on, they will trigger fears, because in other lifetimes, those gifts were impeded by the social conformity and what was okay, what was not okay, what was weird, what was not weird, what was understood, what was not understood. And so those will bring up fears, and it's just working through that. It's okay that I sense these things. It's okay that I'm safe in my body, and just feel into those daily self-care and journaling. It will really help you, because then you get to stand in your power. Well, yes, this is my gift. The more that you do that, which has been my lesson for the past 4 years, well, longer than that, but since my bodies have turned on and my fields have turned on, it's really been practice of, whoa, standing in my power, amplifying my light so that my field is not being compromised, because I am so empathic and highly intuitive in my fields. And it's been so such a profound lesson in knowing thyself, anchoring thyself with source, and not being compromised by others' imbalances. That's a huge lesson, and why we've talked about infusion, and we'll continue to talk about it, because it's really, really important that we begin the awareness process for the crystalline children. What I was getting yesterday, which was really exciting, was the energetic work that I love to do when I'm out in nature, just preparing the fields and working with the grids and sound and tone and intention, allowing that life force to flow through, that divine alignment to flow through you as an open vessel of love and direction. You're directing life force through you, is preparing the fields for the hybrid children and preparing the fields for future generations, so that those codes and those crystalline energies are being planted, but us communicating and being aware of, just pay attention to how you feel around certain people and listen, because your body will show you and tell you, how does this feel? Well, that doesn't feel right for me. Okay, well then ask yourself, when you have that time, well, why doesn't it feel right around that person? Oh, they just feel sad to me. Then allow them to understand that they don't have to take it on, that they can separate it, and that these gifts are part of them as their oneness of God, of source creator, of all that is. And these gifts can be used so that it will benefit them. And they don't have to internalize everything. And that's one thing that empathics rarely get taught at such a young age, is not to internalize, therefore everything becomes a block. Because everything is internalized. They feel as if everything is their fault. Everything going on with others is theirs. They might have codes in their fields and in their bodies for them to see, for them to then act as that pillar of light, to stand in that stronger power, so that they can. There's birds everywhere. Oh, be careful, birdies. Usually when I've also noticed too, when I start doing my channeling and my energy and my field starts amping up, there's birds and insects just bang into the windows, because they can sense the energy field. So just know that there might be some birds that bang into the window, and dragonflies constantly banging into me. And so just have them be okay with their understanding and their perceiving it as the fluid gift of love that they are, and knowing when to discern, to put up the veils, and to put up their boundaries, and to work within the boundaries as a oneness, so that they're not being hindered and compromised and feeling completely burnt out and lethargic at the end of the day, and then taking on those emotional thought forms that aren't theirs. And you can just tell, when your kids are just feeling that emotional distancing, that's when they need that expression and that expulsion of what's going on inside of them, to just get it out. How are you feeling? How do you feel about that? And just watch things in the house and just feel those temperature checks and what's going on in those transition times, because they can feel and take it on as a block, as if it's something happening to them, and not understanding it, then it gets internalized. And so I'm constantly saying, to my kids, anything that's going on, just understand that the celestial alignments, they're not blocks. Like I was saying earlier, there was a time where I was getting, those moon cycles. I was just like, oh no, here it comes. Because it was just like, oh no, not again. It was just so intense, and it was just so much purging, the emotional purgings. That's what the moon does. It's got that magnetic pull that just says, all right, here you go. Because we've taken, as an empath, just taking everything on since childhood, never being never having that comfort, that intimate comfort, that emotional comfort and safety to talk about, what's going on inside of you, and thinking that, a good portion of what was going on was not even mine. The belief systems, the conformity, all of the imbalance, and if those are not understanding it and not awake and consciously talking about it and having it as a part of their family self-care, then it get taken on as suppression, deeper suppression, which then turns into other forms of addictive behaviors, or you know um, the things that we do to feed what's imbalanced. It all affects everything. And so just understand that everything can be and is a flow of love. It's all a flow of love. There will be, in these natural flows of love, because your soul wants it, your soul desires it, it wants you to transcend in every way that you're able to press out. That's evolution. So feel it as the excitement, adventure of a game that you've come to play as a soul. You're masterful. You know what you're doing. You have the universe that you can call and live through. You can have that experience. Okay, let's do this. We've got this. No matter what comes forward today, I will stand as an absolute powerhouse of who I am. And if anything comes up, I absolutely know that I will ground and anchor and live from my center, and I will allow myself to navigate with peace and calm and understanding and compromise, and allowing my higher self and my soul to live through me, so that you're discerning what's best for you, living within your boundaries and your set standards, and then allowing those standards and new versions of you, those new higher versions of leveling up, to also be held within the circles that you're running within, so that those around you will know, okay, well, I can't do that anymore. She's not onto that, and then their behaviors and attitudes begin to shift. And that's how ascension, moves. We've talked about before is the infusion. If you're not aware of it and living consciously with what's going on, you can take on those subtle co-creations of the vibrations of ego and projections that aren't yours, but you end up getting stuck in those cycles of karmic behavior, which become those hurdles and obstacles that at some point will come forward with ever more profundity for you to transcend and break. And so those are the natural transitions. But if you're aware of it and conscious of it, it can just be that natural flow of transition. You can say, I understand what's going on now. I'm working within who I am. I know thyself. And perhaps we can talk about where these are all coming from, so that you can choose to work on your issues, and I choose to work on mine, and then you come together to see where things will go from there. But living in that continual balance, that continual stream of back and forth, because it can be felt. I can feel it, when those very subtle levels of back and forth, telepathic, blaming and gaming, all of that type of energy, that is very subtly created from suppressed energies of not being expressed, emotional fields not being expressed, emotional energies not being expressed. And they all happen in every family. Who did what to whom, why did they do that to whom? And then there's that underlying resentment that everybody feels, and they co-create, because the things that you don't talk about, the things you don't express and work out, they just go back and forth in the energetic field, and you end up co-creating timelines with them. Unless you step out and you just go in your own direction and co-create in a new way. If there's no resolve in those circles of subtleties that don't serve anybody. Although those are the experiences that some want to continue to play out, because there's a deeper soul lesson there for them. But at some point, every person through the process of ascension will go through, very many at various levels, the ego death. Whether the ego death is through relationships, through jobs, through anything that the ego thinks that it can control and hang on to, because that's the ego. It doesn't know what to do at spirit level. And that's just normal. It's a normal process of the human conditioning. And there also come forward when there's energies of trauma that have been suppressed, from either the Akash, the psyche wounds, or childhood. But all of these things we define as because it's all new. Everybody's moving through this for the first time. It's all new for everybody. That when something comes up, it's like, oh, I don't know what to do. The ego mind will then trigger that lower mental games that the mind just wants to run away with. And what I've been practicing is just calling all of your consciousness, all of your light, all of your power back to your center, ground, and surrendering the complete mental body to source and your higher self and spirit. I surrender my mental body to spirit today. Today, I will allow my vessel of love to flow. I will flow in peace. I will be calm. I will open at the center and be happy about who I am. I am proud to be who I am. And you feel the flow of source through the door of God back here just flow through you and your soul. I call my soul and my higher self to live through me today. An open vessel of love. And anything that comes up, I have the wisdom, the gifts, and the skills to navigate with precision, with mastery, with fairness and love and compassion and forgiveness. But I will not be brought back into old cycles that no longer serve me. And we all know what they are. The bantering and the judgmental back and forth stuff that doesn't serve anyone. And you can just choose to step back and discern, because this is what many will be called to do, is choosing the battles, if you will. Speaking your truth and being that masterful leader with grace and with elegance, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. But to have that grace and that elegance of unconditional love and compassion, but standing in your truth of what is okay with you now, and others will have to get used to your new way of becoming a master, because it will allow them to step up as well. Not continuing in the same cycles that are, there's no win, it's a lose-lose, because the energy just wants to go, who's going to win, who's going to win, who's going to win, And so at some point, when you surrender to your soul and your spirit, you will just discern and just step back gently and just choose to direct your energy into something that serves you, But what's really important is that when you're going through those transitions and you're sensing the transitional blocks or challenges or hurdles in your home, because when you're going through a transition, those blocks and hurdles and challenges will come up for you to sort out to that new vibrational leveling up. But to perceive every single person in their highest right of their God self, that changes and shifts the energy right then and there. They are as God's self and as perfect as you and all others, and as God as the angels. You're offering that opportunity, as opposed to perceiving it from that same old cycle that has always been, because that energy that you perceive it which will offer them that same level of potentiation, which as a master, you want to offer them the highest potentiation of being their highest God self, as the masters and the angels have always done with us. See yourself as the highest master, hold yourself high, because you are. And we offer that to all others. As leaders, as light workers, as way showers, you are God. You are all God. Your soul is desiring you to explore the ego a bit more, because you have further lessons to learn. That's okay. There's no judgment on that. Just know that the ego will only allow you to experience things in certain ways that will allow you, if you so choose, it's just to surrender to your spirit and your soul at your heart, and you can feel those succumbing to soft and gentleness, which will serve your soul in profound ways. But there is absolutely ego energies that have to be moved through and worked through, and every soul is different on how deep they want to move with that. And it's not for anybody to say right or wrong or anything too. It's just not. That's the path. But what we're going to be asked is, at what point do you step back gracefully and still offer the highest vibration, so that you're offering that new cycle something new? And you're leveling up your cycle, so that there is always still that threaded connection, because we are always one. So like, for instance, if I'm moving somewhere and the connection of my circle is working within energies, and they're working through their soul's energies, that connection of my level up will always thread with them. They're always offered that level of leveling up commitment, because that's the soul's threading of all people on earth. That's why there's always those masters that have come to thread and break free the membrane to the potentiation of those light codes that are in the grids, that are in the consciousness. Those that have those gifts, light language and sound and tone and healing, the energy light, Reiki and Palawa and all these different vibrational offerings are working with those codes and working with source flow, the ebb and flow of the breath of life, and constantly emitting that light and being that light and shining that light, receiving everything in every moment as the flow of source, not perceiving it as a hurdle or a block. So it's just allowing every moment to be that flow. Oh yeah, that feels good. That's just the flow of source. No matter what's going on in your peripheral, you are in this vessel of sanctuary. You are a sanctuary. And it can be felt when you walk. I'm a sanctuary. Just flowing with source. I don't gotta control nothing. Just flowing. You know, it's gonna come to me. Whatever needs to get to me will find me. The soul tribe, I've put out vibrations and intentions from my heart, summoning my soul tribe. It'll find me. Source is doing source things, and my teams are working for me, everything that I need. I'm just living from my heart and being the joy of who I am. And those are vibrations. Those are vibrations. Those are vibrations. Just being me. I don't have to fix anybody. I don't have to fix the world. That's not the intention. The intention is to constantly press out. The soul wants conscious awareness and say, let's do this. Let's explore, let's express, let's experience who we are. And in doing so, we can allow all of our conversations and all of our interactions, because what's really important, as we talked about the last year, the gardens of love are about our renewing that sacred connection as we flow source, as we know ourselves as source, as we are becoming ourselves, that flowing renewal of our human family connection, really connecting at that heart level, really desiring that communication heart to heart. You know, and I had a beautiful, you know, interaction, you know, this morning with my son, and it was just like, you know, when someone that loves you unconditionally, you know, just stares into your eyes, you know, that truth is felt, you know, and it's that vibrational connection that the crystalline kids need, that all kids need, we all need. You know, there's no labels, no definitions. I'm just saying that as we become so, distracted, you know, and it plays upon, you know, it's part of the game, you know, that the separation is part of the game, and it's part of why they've come, you know, but now we're shifting, our consciousness is shifting at every level. How has that distraction served us? What aspects of conformity are we being fed, and how are we perceiving it as hurdles and blocks? It doesn't matter whether it's in our intimate circles or whether it's in the collective. There's nothing that is a block. We're flowing source divine, and all will be worked out. That light will touch every aspect of every social system. It will, you know, and us moving through as for the greater good. I am an open vessel of love. I know thyself. I carry thyself. I'm excited to be me. The universe will bring me opportunities and synchronicities, and those that are willing to also express themselves at this level and continually level up and press out consciously as a collective. And that's that synchronistic, that source. The universe is converging, knowing thyself. That's a vibrational knowingness. I know thyself. It's no longer waffling in things that don't work, but everyone will move through the waffling of what doesn't work, because that's what's required to know what really does work, what feels good. How do I feel about that? Because you know when something feels good and when something doesn't feel good. So tune in. Okay, that didn't feel good. Let's sit and talk about this and bring it out. That didn't feel good for me. What's going on here? What are the projections going on? What are we not dealing with? What are we dealing with? You know, let's talk about this. Let's get it out. And then you can each see where each of the wounds are, because they're coming forward to display something to you, whether it's to stand in your power and display your light, display your needs, speak your truth, and say, okay, you know, where are the projections coming from, and what have you worked on, and how are you setting your standard and allowing all others to have theirs in complete unconditional love and acceptance without judgment. And setting that highest standard for them to work through their next leveling up. And that's the process of mastery. You know, it's unconditional. Pressing out, unconditional. I'm setting a new level here of vibration. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. I'm going to explore myself in a new way. That means you guys are going to have that opportunity to explore yourself in a new way. I don't know what that was. It just walked by. Not too funny. I put some new bird food out there. So the animals are coming out at dawn. No, dusk. So yeah, we wanted to talk about how we define things. So just allow yourself to know that you are a fluid movement and a vessel of love and light. When you're working from within, that vessel of light that you are, that pillar of light that you're grounding and anchoring every day, living from this center, living and calling forward your higher self and your soul, you will see at that subtle level what's been going on all the time that's not conscious connections. Because oftentimes, because of the human conditioning, we just end up moving in behaviors that are similar. And because they're patterned, they're not brought forward to a new level up, and they just stay in a state of stagnancy or de-evolution, depending on how long it's been there and how many lineage, right? And those things come from, eons of subjugation in any form, whether it's a belief or a pattern that you hold about divine feminine or divine male, the roles, definitions, where are the limitations? So everything that we're going to see play out in our collective are the things that we're looking at within. What are my beliefs now? How do I limit myself in every way based on a belief? I'm infinite. I'm pressing out every moment. Every moment I can choose to level up. Every moment I can choose just to flow and just be me and live me authentically for the greater good. When I live authentically, I'm serving the greater good. And I can choose to do that with great power and with great passion, with great, yes, this is who I am. I speak my truth. I have that absolute desire and excitement to be me for no other reason. To be me, it will serve me. It feels good when I'm using my voice in a powerful and positive way. My light is shining. I can feel it from my center. Oh, it feels good. Yeah, this is me. I am Joanna. And I am from the heavens. And I walk with pride and I walk with grace. So say those really powerful, empowering energies so that you state your truth with source. You walk your truth with source. That's anchoring that I am presence. I know thyself. I am. State your name. Have yourselves listen. I am powerful and I am youthful. I am vibrant and I allow my light to be seen and to be felt within the all. My light matters. It's you. Your light is you. It's that song, that resonance, that beautiful harmonic that is just you, uniquely you. The notes of you are very unique. And oftentimes when I'm at night and I'm watching the light ships, I put light ship pictures on our website, on our Facebook page, and I'll put pictures of our light ships, and I often commune with them and they send me light projections. And oftentimes they're saying, wow, your light was just such a song today. We're cheering, we're celebrating your light because you're owning it, you're claiming it. When you're not claiming your light, you're giving it away to others because you're in that emotional, energetic, subtle state. You're allowing yourself to fall into the projections, into the attitudes and the definitions that they're claiming for you. Unknowingly. This is not in all cases, but in patterns and relationships that are stagnant and not going anywhere, because the light and the energies have been brought to a level where nobody is leveling up. Nobody's breaking that membrane and nobody's breaking through, playing the same energy cycle that doesn't evolve. And oftentimes when that evolution membrane breaks and you do step forward and level up, there will be those judgments and attitudes and projections for that new experience because they're not understanding that vibrational shift in you and the behaviors in you and the difference in you because it's all energetic. And then if you're not putting up your boundaries, you're not living in your I am presence, you can take those projections on and then slip back into those experiences that don't feel good. When you know in yourself it doesn't feel good, that I should have said something and I didn't say anything. I just let them say the same thing over and over again, and that didn't feel good because that wasn't the truth. I know who I am. So just allow yourself to know that those are not blocks. They're just the normal processes of new energetic flow to take you into that, everybody that we contract with, everybody, whether it's on the peripheral, whether it's in our close circles, every single interaction is for the soul's purpose of growth. standing in your truth, being that sovereign being, because humanity is working on sovereignty. We are not going to be fed controlled systems. We are, and it begins within each and every one of us. What programs are we running within who we are as a soul? What do we come with emotionally, physically, etherically, and energetically, and every way? What programs of control am I here to transcend and break? And that's soothing the ego to surrender always to spirit and just live as an unconditional being of love. Because we each have them. There's not one person on this planet who's not working with an energetic, some form of control that has to be overcome to live that sovereign energy, that vibration of sovereignty. Knowing thyself, that you have those rights to be thyself, physically, mentally, emotionally, etherically, and to express, explore, and experience thyself in the highest loving, benevolent way. And so in doing so, everything will come up that is in a program in one of your bodies and fields for you to transcend, or in another, because you've contracted it at various times, at various levels, to keep testing you as you press out and press out and press out, because that pressing out allows you to then contract other experiences from other realms and other frequencies. And it requires that you know discerning. Does that feel good for me? That's why we have that discernment tool, because we will be on and off world contact. We will be connecting with greater family, and we will have to recognize, what does that feel like? You know, what's in my field here that doesn't feel like mine? Clear and cleanse. This is why we've suggested that daily clearing in the morning and at night. You know what feels right and what's out of place, you know, when you're doing it throughout your day. But they're not blocks or hurdles. So define it as, I'm just moving through and I'm navigating. So how does that feel for me? Okay, well, that didn't feel comfortable, so I'm going to recenter. I'm going to call all my light, all my power back to my center. I call all my consciousness back to the center of my being in this moment of now. My pillar of light is open, and I'm calling in the highest Christed light to return to me now, please. I call all my light, all my power, all my truth, everything that I am as a conscious being, I call it back to my center now, please. Within my divine sacred heart, I am centered and I am grounded. Everything in my field is now in commandment of me. And you can just practice with it. And as we suggested earlier, practice it when you're outside. And then with different groups of people, and just practice feeling into, okay, what does that feel like? Oh, okay, that didn't feel right. So then check in, is there something within me that needs to be brought forward, to be discussed and to be cleared? They're triggering you energetically, physically, mentally, or emotionally for a reason. And oftentimes those that are doing this will allow themselves to uncover and unveil and clear the belief patterns, the beliefs, because it's all headed to belief frequency, physically, mentally, emotionally, or etherically, in the Akash or in your physical now reality, psyche wounds that need to be cleared. And whether it's, okay, well, that just made me feel as if I had to step back and I had to protect myself, or I had to, squash my voice. So you'll just get to feel, so those are the important moments. Those are those moments that you can just clear something that's been there for eons really quickly. I recognize this is what's going on within me. That doesn't belong to me anymore. This is my new belief. And choose to let it go and have it transmuted really quickly. And that's how you continue to just recenter, as we've often said. Let it go by acknowledging it, accepting it, and allowing it to be a part of you. It's a part of me. That was held as a belief, and it's taught me so much. It's taught me so much. And I appreciate everyone that's been co-creating this with me, because it's allowed me to see that friction. It's allowed me to see that duality, because we need that duality to show us where we can ricochet, what we choose now. I choose to now stand within the authority of who I am. I am a divine sovereign being, and I choose to this now. I choose to explore this now. I choose to incorporate this as my new belief. I am infinite. I am eternal. I am light. I am wisdom. I am all things. I am source, as my name is. So those are those uncovering of really the smoke and mirrors of what we think are blocks and hurdles. They're not. They're just showing you the patterns of energy that just keep running, that until we recognize it, okay, this is what's going on. I choose to do this now, and allowing all others to do their soul's path, and then allowing everyone to step up, or not. It's always a vibrational, co-creation. But that's how you gain that sovereignty. That's how you've worked through it, and you're recognizing, because you're tuning in. You're tuning into, okay, well, why did that feel the way it did? Okay, there's something that needs to come forward. Okay, why is that coming forward? And then you'll feel something in one of your bodies or chakras. Like for me, I'll most often than not, I will feel it in the third and second chakra, or I will feel it in the heart if it's a past life energy that has not been healed through love or abandonment or betrayal or things like that, because that's affecting the heart. But the safety issues, the second and third chakra, deep abandonment issues. I had this one experience. I've often said about what I've remembered in the past 2 years and the lifetimes I've seen. I won't go into it, but it was a traumatic abandonment that I had experienced. And I felt it in my root. It was a huge energy that I was healing from my root chakra that had been carried for eons. It was such an old now. It's an old now because it's all now. But this is why we have what we wanted to talk about today is one of our main points when we're talking about hurdles and blocks and through the transition times, because every moment we're leveling up. And every moment we're clearing what was done last year, last week, last minute, because everything is accelerating, right? Our time is collapsing. What's really, really important to understand and just redefine for yourself to be infinite, the fluid flow of source, standing in your power, your I am presence, knowing that you have boundaries, knowing that you get to state it as a sovereign being, doing your self-care, creating that self-health that you can do. Your cells are listening. Your field is now listening. You're under your commandment. Your loving commandment of you is that time is the illusion that we get to heal all things, and so timelines that we have experienced, that one experience that I was referring to, that was an off-world experience that I remembered and was brought through as a vision, but was linked to relationships in this lifetime that I was also healing at the same time, that I get to choose to now release. I choose to release all energies and programs and thought forms and belief systems about abandonment. I'm always safe. I'm always a source. Because on many other systems, we've experienced, great depletion of resources. There was that dragon story that I told. So if you want to go back on our YouTube, there's a video about the dragons. And that dragon vision came to me from the baby dragon and the mummy dragon, and that was the vision experience about an off-world experience about resources being taken from this planet, and this planet went through great devastation. And to understand that what we move through is not necessarily in this lifetime, but it's connected with the relationships that you're encircling, so that you get to reflect on your belief systems. It's all about your soul. Those in your circle are showing it to you. They're showing you the reflection of what needs to be healed and cleared for unconditional love of yourself and acceptance of all others. Because they're reflecting it as a part of their field or part of their story, so that you can say, okay, I get why they're projecting that to me. I get why they're saying that to me, because there's still a belief in me that my voice is not valid, or that I'm not honoring myself and my light and doing what is right for me. So again, you always have those opportunities to explore. And I know when you're exploring it, you're allowing the energy to flow, as opposed to, you don't have to figure it out, because it will come to you. It just will. When you ask and soften what needs to be shown, and it will come forward and show itself to you. You don't have to know all the backstory and all that. Allow it to come forward and show you, okay, so it's subjugation, or it's forgiveness of self, compassion of self, honoring of thyself, knowing that you are worthy to hold yourself very high. And when others don't hold you high, that's your reflection. Okay, well, I need to hold myself higher, because I really am. I'm pretty awesome. And I do hold myself high. And then that vibration will allow you to align with those that really want to hold you high. And that's just that transition period, right? And then they'll say, well, hey, okay, I want to hold you high because you hold me high. You've always held me high, but now I see it because you see other people holding you high. And that's that progression of ascension that always occurs. But those experiences allow you to say that everything in your life is purposeful. It's your soul's way to say, hey, there's something going on in my field. There's something that's ready to be cleared. And at the soul level and the higher consciousness level, you're all working together to make sure you're mirroring to each other. You're showing each other. You're projecting to one another most times unconsciously, because there are psyche wounds that have not been dealt with. They've been repressed. So they just get projected from their beingness, and they don't often understand why they're acting and behaving the way they are, because they're just projections of things not being healed and not being released. Because energy must move. If it's not moving, physically, mentally, emotionally, or etherically, it becomes imbalance. And so allow that to be part of the transition. You don't have to fix it all. It's not your responsibility to fix it all, just on what's coming forward for you. As you do, you set that new anchor leveling up perspective for all others if they so choose. But to have those regular conversations of family self-care, so that everyone is aware that, yes, the celestial alignments are a part of our cyclical evolution. They just are. Everything in our galaxy, everything in our planetary experience. Everyone's moving through their process of awakening and greater consciousness. That's just a part of the new 5D Earth. How can we create family self-care, and who's on board? And allow those to work out what needs to be worked out, for them to be more comfortable, because there's those fears and issues that have to be cleared on everybody's side. Everybody has to do their own clearing. You're being that mirror of reflection that will set that vibrational standard, and you walking in your highest path will show that way. But there are no blocks and hurdles. It's just a constant flow of energy. And if it's not flowing, that's when it feels, or we define it as a block or hurdle, because we're not seeing it from that highest leveling up perspective. We're seeing it from that same level. And we always know you can't heal and you can't fix anything from the level in which it was created. You got to step outside and say, okay, I see where that's going on. I choose to step outside. I detach myself from that cycle, and now I choose to do this. And that's a conscious choice. When you consciously choose it, this is how I choose to create. Every cell in my body is listening. My mental, physical, emotional, etheric body. I am that I am, as I am. Source is, creator, spirit, source, all that is. The universe is converging in this new choice. I am that I am. This is my new leveling up. And it feels good. So yeah, this feels me. Yeah, this is me. Yeah, I'm not going to waffle and waver anymore into the, we all feel it. And ask yourself throughout the day, how am I feeling? How does this feel for me? How do you feel? How do you feel right now? You feel good? Yeah, let's do this. There might be some of you saying, yeah, well, I've got one or two things on the back burner that I've been meaning to talk about, because that's the family self-care. What do we need to fix here? What do we need to change? What's going on within this circle that needs to be, cleared? Stagnancy. Same thing over and over and over. Stagnancy. Nothing evolves. So let's clear it out. Let's clear it out. What's going on? How can we create greater play, greater movement? How can we create greater connection with one another? Really talking about those emotions and what's going on in the house, and have people help out. Everybody lends a hand. Everybody lends a hand. It's community, and that's that helping and loving the community that we're co-creating together. We're all leveling up together. Level up, level up, level up, level up. We all get to play a part of this. We all get to play a part, and knowing when to just gently back out and discern for yourself what feels good for you and what feels, like it's compromising your soul's song, how you desire to move forward, and what feels healthy for you. And every person that's ever been in a relationship, functional or not functional, dysfunction, we've had so much the dysfunction that we've all experienced, and knows how it feels. And and at some point it's getting very quick, right? Time is collapsing. Time is collapsing. And there will be those moments of, big awakening. There's no more sitting on the fence, if you will, which is a term that's been used in the light worker for many, many years. No more sitting on the fence. If it doesn't feel good, change it, and every soul will have its temperament. But when that doesn't feel good, that's telling you right then and there, your intuition, your source, divine mother, that energy of the moon is showing you, your bodies are showing you, pull forward what's coming out and just release it. And then as you do, you'll quickly see the circle that's around you and what's feeling good and what isn't, and discern for yourself. It's time for me to back away from this and start something new. That's knowing thyself. And that comes with everything: food, beverage, entertainment, doing things that are more natural to the soul's song, because it will be evident. And that's sitting on the fence comes with anything: a relationship, finances, what is of integrity of the money that you're earning and how you're earning it. And that's all integrous. My teams were showing me a while ago, um, honoring how the soul wants to express itself and honor itself will always call in the finances and the abundance that you need. But if we're not living in that full honoring of who we are, that universe is only going to bring to you what you're sending out. So this is why it's, that centering within. This is who I am today. I know that my abundance will come. I am abundant. I'm abundant with source, as my name is. This is how I choose to allow the universe to offer me the blessing of who I am as a vibration. I am unique. I am a profound vibration, and the universe is infinite. There's not a set amount in a bank account with the universe. It's infinite. So I will be cared for. There will be things that will be brought to me. I absolutely know this. I know this. Every fiber of my being. I've had enough source experience. I absolutely know this. I know within me that I'm a manifester and I can manifest without the obligations and the energies that one has to work through, that emotional energy about how valued one is. That's a huge one. At every moment, anytime you're around anybody, check in. Am I dimming my light? Am I lowering myself? And we say lowering myself because I can feel it in my body when I actually sink down, because the body is just so used to clamping up. It's a physical interaction, everything energetically, you can feel it, because you haven't felt that comfort level to fully express who you are, because at a physical level, childhood level, it was scorned, or it was devalued, or it was brought to conformity in such a traumatic way for someone that's so creative spiritually, singing and talking with nature and singing and talking with energy, but it feels really good to be back again. I'm back. My team said a while ago, they were just, teasing with me, and because I can hear the conversations if I'm tuning in, and I'm just, I'm being myself, and I'm centering within my center, and the children, are saying, she's back, she's hearing us, she sees us now, because that veil was just peeling away. No, this is who I am. I'm not hiding it anymore. And if it makes others uncomfortable, then that's something that they're going to work with. That's part of their soul's journey. I'm not doing it for them. I can be who I am and offer my unique vibration and my authenticity, and I will stand within who I am. Elegantly, with great pride and with great joy and with great elegance and softness and gentleness. But I will no longer squash myself. I will no longer diminish my voice and my energy, because I am meant to come forward, and it feels good. I'm peeling back, it's just like being naked and running through the grass. I remember my kids when they were so little, they just had the most fun. I just let them, we'd go to a park, and my daughter, the first thing she would do is just flick off her shoes and want to get bare feet and just run as fast as she could in every direction. That's what we're doing now. Just peel it all out. What are we hiding, and why are we hiding? Truth. Sort it out. Play with your authentic self. Really say, what am I excited to play with today? How am I feeling about that? Wow, I feel good about that. Good for you. This is the soul of you awakening into the soul of the all. And you're starting to feel that fluid movement. Wow, I've got everybody with me. I'm breathing with the heavens here. You'll feel it. Anytime you resist, compact, squish, diminish, that's when you can feel the difference. So that's daily self-care, and really calling up those energies and just say, I don't want these restrictions anymore. I release them. I release all restrictions. I release all lower vibrating beliefs about myself. I detach all limiting beliefs. I detach all that I have held myself in separation. I am one with the all. Because everyone will be tested about their belief systems, and to be as open and as inclusive and as honoring in all experiences and neutral. It's not right or wrong, it's the all. But how are you excited to explore, express, and experience yourself? That's where you direct your energy, releasing all else. Very subtle. It is very, very subtle. When you start having your bodies and your fields turn on, it's very subtle. Everything is moving in the peripheral. And what needs to be worked on are those threads that keep calling you back into energies that have not fully healed. Your self-value, your self-worth, self-reliance, safety. Those are those core ones that you have to keep returning to center. This is who I am. And directing your energy to the all that you're excited to express, explore, and experience. And releasing all patterns and contracts and energies that no longer serve this higher version of you. And it takes practice because you'll feel it. And then there'll be times where you get sucked back into those conversations that don't feel good. And then you realign and you spread out and you press out and you press out and you press out until you're living that leveling up experience as a full-time vibration. But that's mastery. So there's no blocks, there are no hurdles. It's just like moving in this huge mansion of energy, and you get to choose what room you walk in. Everything, you can still hear the things that are going on downstairs and in the other room. It's still there, but the soul of you, the center of you, is here directing where you choose it to go, where you're excited to be you, and you get to sing and you get to dance and you get to play. That's source, as your name is. So exciting. So allow yourself to be gentle and fluid with all that is. It's all. Everything is all. And release the idea that that's not me and that's not me. That's not, and that's when that separation starts. That's that subtle energy that you keep co-creating because you're repelling it. It's all source. It's all you. It's all one. It's all one. But now I choose to stand in my full self. And as I know thyself, I'm really excited to explore this as me now. This feels really good here. That's still okay. Not judging it. Because when you judge it, you put yourself there again. And then you've got to rework your way back. Everything is perfect. Everything is source. Everything is fluid. It's all valid. It's all you. You stop your cycle with it when you allow it to be all that is. You're honoring it. It's honor. I learned so much. I learned so much from it. But I choose to detach now, and now I want to play here. It's still inclusive. It's still required. It's still a part of source. It's still a part of the all. You've learned from it. It's valued. You're valuing you at every level. I value. I'm doing so well. Look at how far I've come. I'm so great. Thank you, Joanna. Thank you. I've learned so much from that, and I'm just loving you for choosing this. This feels really good. This feels really exciting to me. I get to play again. So let's play. Let's play with source. Source, I want to breathe with you. I want to speak with you. I want to walk with you. I want to sing with you. This is my true path. Allow me to come forward and really explore who I am with you with authenticity and with honor and with grace. Because every day is going to be exciting. I get to learn more about me, and I get to press out even more. And it's meant to be joyful. You learn so much. It's all inclusive. Redefine it as the all. Redefine it as all love. Just various levels and threads of love. And experiential of love. The soul wants to experience love in all of its ways. The 3D reality is very dualistic. It's polarity. Well, we get to those exercises through moving through and navigating through all that is inclusive. It's all inclusive. So have it be okay to be inclusive. It's all inclusive. There's no back and forth winning and losing. It's all inclusive. It's all source. However, from now, I choose to live here now. This is what I want to explore now. It's still valid. It's still okay. We're still threaded in the ethereals as being one. But now I choose here. And it's really different. It's very subtle. But then you'll feel yourself release from those threads. And it can be felt when everything around you in your ethereal and all of your vessel and all that you are is now in this new leveling up vibration more and more and more and more. And it becomes a full-time vibrational experience. So exciting. So thank you, dear ones. We're so happy that you've joined us today and talking about or redefining everything as being inclusive, everything as being all. And then you just recentering from here, tuning into your bodies, what feels good. How do you feel? How are you feeling? You know, and have that be a part of your family self-care. You know, how are you feeling today? What's going on inside of you? I noticed that you weren't quite right in that interaction. You know, is there anything you want to talk about? What's going on? You know, have those self-care conversations and get used to the physical, mental, and emotional etheric bodies becoming into balance with one another, because you'll notice that as you do so, the fluidity in your house will be a lot easier to move about, and there will no longer be the vibrational banter of winning and losing, blaming and shaming and guilting and all that goes nowhere. You know, we've all experienced it. It's nothing new, you know, but what we want is something new. We want to bring it into a new level of love, of compassion, of unconditional acceptance. And then to be okay with knowing when to step back and change your course if that's required because of how you feel energetically, emotionally, physically, and etherically, and have that be okay. part of my my excitement in the future will be transition centers for women and children and men and children, to have those places of transition when they're making those big life changes, to have that support financially, emotionally, physically, and etherically. um, because there's so many that go through it that need that support, and very few people reach out, you know, because it's just been our collective experience. But what that 5D leveling up is being okay to reach out, knowing that you have a community, that there are those that love you and care about you, and you'll know in your heart when you're going through something that you really need that care and that that community, that sharing in that community, to assist in leveling up. Because there were so many of us that wanted to level up but felt there were no resources or support to level up. So these are great potentiations that our society really needs: light at every level, financial, school and education, healthcare, community services, communal living, communal support, where those can help one another in the reaching up and reaching out. And all light workers are coming together to assist in the process of being those pillars of light, and say that we can anchor a higher frequency of care and love and oneness. And this is how we can do it. Let's work within, be okay being you, shine your light, work through the emotional, mental, physical, and energetic energies through awareness, through acknowledgement, through higher learning, higher exploration, and knowing thyself, and honoring it. Yes, I honor who I am every day. Thank goodness for me. Every day before you go to bed, thank goodness for me. I love my body. My heart is healthy. My mind is healthy. My mental field is cleared and crystalline and pristine, and it's in full alignment with my destiny. My physical body is in alignment with my destiny. I talk to my cells every night. I have beautiful, beautiful features that I'm able to express myself wholly and unapologetically. I'm not hiding behind anything or anyone. I'm fully me. This is who I want to be. I'm so proud and I'm so grateful. Thank you, Source. Thank you, Source. Thank you, Source, for all that I am and all that I have been offered and gifted, and all that is on my path ready for me to explore. And those mornings and afternoons and evenings of gratitude, you're sending out those pulsations of who you are, and own it. I claim who I am. Yes, I claim my happiness today. And oftentimes the mother and father come through with these gentle little whispers: claim your happiness. Why aren't you claiming it? You're so busy working and the passion that I just want to teach and do the light work. Well, what about your happiness? Can you claim it for yourself today? You're so impassioned about showing everyone else happiness, but what about you claiming your happiness, just to sit in the flowers for an hour? Claim your happiness. You're meant to be happy. You're meant to be blissful. You're meant to press out in love and joy. Ascension and the exploration of evolution is joyful. It is meant to be joyful. It is a joyful experience. First we have to allow ourselves to be joyful, and very few of us, because it's been such an emotional purging and healing, that we forget, what is joy? Well, right? So claim it. Today I will be joyful, and I will own it. And be as positive and loving and understanding if there's others around you that don't want to be in that vibration. That's okay too. They'll get there in their own way and in their own time. But it doesn't stop you, and you don't have to squash yourself and limit your unique vibration. You can continue being proud and being in joy and claiming of who you are. Your pillar is needed. Your light is needed and required in every way. So shine brightly, dear ones. Shine brightly. You're beautiful cosmic children, and you are a star. We need you. You're needed and you're valued. And the light within you is so very profound. So how does that feel? How does it feel to be needed? How does it feel to know that this world just loves you? That Gaia and the beautiful essence of Source needs you and loves you just for being you. I need you just to be you. Source, the Mother, Father, and Creator, and all Spirit, and the fairies and the pixies, just be you. I can't tell you how many times that I've been told, just be you, Joanna. You don't have to go and do anything. There's so much wisdom packed inside of you. When you just be you, everything just flows through you. Your light, your wisdom, your ability to talk to all things, all nature, all light, all energy. You're able to sing it and talk it. Just be you. And I go, I don't even know what that means, because there's so much conditioning and conformity. Swaying ourselves to fit others and to allow others to feel okay in themselves. And that's what empaths do. You change who you are so that others around you can be okay. And that's not okay anymore. Come forward and be fully, unapologetically you. Honor you. The sun that you are, honor you. You are shining from the center of who you are. You are the sun. You are the moon. You are all things. Be you, and all will flow through you. That beautiful fluidic flow of source. You. I honor you and I love you. How does that feel? Feels so good, right? Allow yourself to speak words of honor and sacredness every day. I honor you. I honor you so much. Look in the mirror. I honor you. I love you. I love every cell within my body. My cells are listening to me. My body's listening to me. I'm healthy. I am proud to be who I am, and I will shine my light. The universe is listening to me, and every pulsation of my knowingness of who I am, I create. I'm a creator. I'm a creator. I'm a creator just by being me. And that pulsation of light, I am me. I am me. My song, my sound, my intention, my light. I create. Feels good. Feels good to be loud, eh? It feels good. Yes, I get to be this. I get to be me. Yeah. Oh, too funny. It's funny when I'm on my, I'm just going to say this one last thing because I don't like these videos being too long. I'm trying to keep them short. I always have so much to say though. I'm so passionate about energy and sharing with the universe and all things that are source creator. Thank you, source, the beautiful magic that we're all blessed within. Sending beautiful light to the grids. Thank you, Gaia. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. When I'm on my power walks and when I'm doing my exercise, I just get in this, I'm working with the energy, I'm working with my bodies, I'm working with the energies, I'm working with my bodies. And I'm going to be putting out many healing resources in the future that will include these. And I'm just like working with the light, and I'm working with the sound, and I'm working with the light, and I'm working with the sounds, and I just feel all these releases. You know, and there's the odd person that was just like, oh, what is she doing? I'm just like, you know, I'm just like, I'm doing me. Yeah, I got me going on. Doing me. That's all I need to do. Just doing me. I do me and you do you, and it's all good. But that's, you know, walk your walk, right? Dance your dance, sing your sing. Don't wait. You know, I posted that on Facebook. Don't wait for others to tell you how valued and valid you are. Know it within thyself. Know thyself. Every morning you wake up, you are meant to be here. You are meant to be uniquely you. You are the bliss and the joy of Source Creator. Be you. Don't wait. Don't wait to be happy. Don't wait to be joyful. Be joyful within your skin. Every bone, every cell, every molecule is waiting for you to love and joy of you. I love my cells. I love who I am. Every part of me I love. You say I love to yourself, to your cells, to your eyes, whatever it is that requires your attention. As many times as a day as you can, and you will see things. You will see yourself waking up looking different, feeling different. Every day we put ourselves together brand new. Every day. You don't have the same body you went to bed with the night before if you're living unconsciously. Every morning we get to choose who we wake up as. It's a brand new day. That's why there were so many ancient tribes that celebrated the very breaking of every dawn. They were celebrated. Sacred stones built around the rise of the sun. When I go to bed at night, I'm going to predict and I'm going to project and I'm going to feel into the love of who I'm creating myself to be that next morning. This is how I choose to experience myself in the flow of source. Every cell will be put back together with greater light. Every molecule is shifting and moving in greater light. I am Metatronic. I am Christic. My cells are listening. I am alive. Don't wait. Allow yourself to soak within who you are as love. So much love. And we love you, dear lighted ones. So exciting. So exciting. Leveling up. Now, we've just leveled up. How do you feel? Well, we love you so much. You are needed and you are required, and you are so very, very powerful. Never, ever, ever, ever doubt or underestimate the power of who you are as source light. You are so loved. You are of beautiful value to creation and the child of creation. You are so very sacred. So allow yourself to speak sacredly, to move sacredly, to allow yourself the sacred dance of who you are and break through. Know that there is no hurdles. There are no blocks. You are the fluid movement of source, and you are profound. thought, word, and deed. You are profound. You are a song. And so it is. We love you, dear lighted ones. Namaste. Bye.